The rich rely on technology, while the poor rely on mutation. Li Wei travels through the dangerous world of Marvel and unlocks the Watch Vanguard system. Embodied Soldier 76 fights alongside Captain America. I am an army alone. Avatar Banzo and Eagle Eye compete in archery skills. Long, I am the enemy. Embodied as the Pharaoh's Eagle and Iron Man bombing the Hydra base. Heavenly Justice. Avengers Gathering, Age of Creation, Infinite War. This is the story of a delivery guy getting into trouble in Marvel world. Watch Vanguard Invading Marvel Chat Group. 294647447, the new book, My Hero is Immortal, has been released. Keywords of the novel. Watch Vanguard Invading Meimang without pop-ups, Watch Vanguard Invading Meimang TXT Complete Collection Download, Watch Vanguard Invading Meimang Latest Chapter Reading. Chapter 1. Starting from Athena. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Starting from Athena, the activation of the Watchman Pioneer system begins, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. Li Wei suddenly woke up from the nightmare, and just as he was about to turn over, he rolled under the bed with a thud. The cold floor suddenly woke him up, he rubbed his eyes, looked around at the scenery, and his face immediately changed. His familiar screen is gone, his computer desk is gone, and the room full of figurines and models is also gone. Instead, there was a strange room without a computer and a poster of Captain America hanging on the wall. I was kidnapped. Li Wei struggled to contemplate what had happened before waking up from his sleep. He remembered sitting in front of the computer just after work and opening the game of watching his butt before dinner. Oh no, it's a Lookout Vanguard. The Cart Bureau on King's Road, they are the attacking side. At first, they were unstoppable and continued to attack until the finish line. But in the final stage, they were fiercely counterattacked by the enemy, with fierce firepower from the fortress and artillery, French chickens harassing in the sky, and Genji constantly attacking their rear row. The countdown has started, and there is not much time left. At a critical moment, Li Wei controlled the self-destructing DVA fell from the sky and won the game with a 4-kill victory. Excited, he knocked over the lemon tea on the table, spilled the drink all over him, and splashed it on the keyboard and power supply. Then, Li Wei became tragic. Li Wei is definitely not the first person to get electrocuted while playing games, nor is he the last. When he woke up again, he arrived at this unfamiliar place. His intuition told him something was wrong here, and he quickly jumped out of bed. There was a huge floor mirror by the bed, and he looked at himself in the mirror and exclaimed in surprise, "Who is this guy?" The person in the mirror has delicate facial features, light golden hair, and blue eyes, making them look quite handsome. This appearance is definitely not Chinese, unless this guy is wearing a wig and beautiful pupils. That is to say, this is a foreigner, and judging by his appearance, he is also a young person with European and American ancestry. Have I traveled through time? Li Wei touched his face, as described in movies and novels. He knew that after his death, his soul might have come to another world and become possessed by others. Who is the person he possessed? William. Li Wei murmured the English name, and a flood of memories surged into his mind. These memories did not belong to him, but to a person named William. The unlucky possessed ghost is called William List, an ordinary person who grew up in Brooklyn, New York, USA. His mother passed away early due to illness, his father became addicted to gambling and was imprisoned, and he also had a younger brother who was attending high school in another city. His current job is to deliver takeout to a pizza shop, and his monthly salary is already meager. In addition to daily expenses, he also has to spend half of it on his distant brother's education. In short, he is very poor. As for emotions, his love history is almost zero. Li Wei couldn't help but cover her face. She didn't expect that this handsome appearance wouldn't even flirt with her sister. Starting from today, my name is William List, William said silently. Since he had come to this new world, He should give up his old name and accept a new identity in order to live in this world. No, first, you need to fill your stomach. William turned his house upside down, only to find a rundown TV and 2 pairs of pirated sports shoes. He didn't find anything else valuable, and the owner of this body didn't even have a laptop. He was really a poor person. It's a pity for my D.Va, it's a pity for my butt, William thought with a mournful expression. He didn't know if there was a game called Watch Pioneer in this world, but even if it did, it wouldn't matter. He couldn't even afford a computer now. 98%, 99%, 100%. Suddenly, something seemed to be ringing in his ear, more precisely, it was not something he could hear, but rather something that appeared directly in the depths of his mind. William always felt that this voice sounded familiar, because he was awakened by it. With the appearance of mysterious voices, white dots of light appeared in front of William. These dots flew back and forth in the air, eventually landing on the back of his left hand, transforming into a tattoo-like symbol. William Tunn was stunned. It turned out to be the logo of the Watch Pioneer game. When it comes to Watchman Vanguard, of course we need to talk about its famous game icon. The game icon of Watchman is actually a combination of a capital O and W, which stands for Overwatch, also known as Watchman. Also, because the Watchman Vanguard has FPS shooting elements, this icon looks like a firearm's crosshair. However, William's favorite explanation is that there are rumors about the watchful buttocks. Do you look closely at this icon and see if it looks like a buttock? Cough, don't say much nonsense. William looked at the Watch Vanguard emblem on the back of his hand. He couldn't help but feel curious and lightly touched it with his hand. Unexpectedly, the game emblem lit up, and the dazzling white light turned into stunning images in front of him. These scenes are all battle scenes of the Watchman Pioneer character, the tactical goggles of Soldier 76, the heavenly justice of the Pharaoh's eagle, the death bloom of Death God, the noon of McCrae has arrived, and the flying chickens and dogs of the road bullies. The heroes from the Watching Vanguard are lifelike, as if they can walk out of the picture in the next second. Finally, all the images merge into one, transforming into a vast and seemingly endless world. In the center of this world, a huge Watchman logo is slowly spinning. I am Athena, welcome to the Watch Vanguard system. Accompanied by the familiar background music of the Watchman Vanguard, a gentle voice rang in William's ear. Athena. This Athena is not the saints who are often kidnapped and robbed by enemies, but the artificial intelligence that guards the Avant-Garde world. Athena. In the Avant-Garde worldview, Athena is a powerful artificial intelligence that has appeared in beginner education and can also be seen on the computer screen of the Gibraltar monitoring station. Players have been speculating that her true form may be a sexy white robot in the official animation, but this hero has never appeared. William pinched his brow, the amount of information was too much for him to accept for a moment. He was just playing games and getting electrocuted, and his soul unexpectedly traveled to another world. Just as he woke up in this world, he unlocked the Watchman Pioneer system. He has also read many time travel novels, and most male leads will receive the golden finger. Like an old grandfather in a ring, a sealed demon king, an invincible system. So, is Athena his golden finger? Welcome to Marvel World. If you like this book, please recommend and bookmark it. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Watchman Pioneer System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Watchman Pioneer System. Oh no, Athena, what exactly is the Watch Vanguard system? William asked curiously. War and disasters have shattered the world and shrouded it in endless darkness. New hope has descended from the dawn, and heroes from all over the world have gathered together to safeguard world peace. They are the vanguard of the Watch. William couldn't help but smack his lips, feeling that he had heard the lines from the second part of this passage somewhere. Although the legend of the Watchman Vanguard has become a thing of the past, their abilities and spirit have been passed down. From the moment the host triggers the Watchman Vanguard system, you have become a member of the Watchman Vanguard. The host needs to unlock the equipment, weapons, skills, and more of the Watchman Vanguard to strengthen themselves and become a true hero. I don't like the term host, let's call me William in the future. Athena's voice paused for a moment, probably recording William's name. Okay William, the Watch Vanguard system has successfully bound to your soul. If you have any questions, why don't you take a look first? As Athena spoke, a blue floating panel suddenly appeared in front of William. This panel was like a system interface in a game, and he could see the 5 modules of heroes, personal information, missions, maps, and malls. William first opened the hero module and saw the icons of heroes, just like those in the game. He could see the familiar DVA, Banzo, Lucio, Soldier 76, Angel, but unlike in the game, these icons are all gray, and William cannot click in to view more detailed information. Athena, how can we unlock new heroes? William asked. There are 3 ways to unlock heroes. First, complete tasks. Whether it's a main or side quest, the Watchman Pioneer system will reward you with a supply box based on different situations. Opening the supply box has a chance to win the hero. The second is level enhancement. Whenever you upgrade, the system will also reward you with a supply box. The third option is the mall, where you can also choose to purchase new heroes. However, the heroes in the mall are expensive and I do not recommend purchasing them. William sighed. It seemed that the best way to unlock a hero was to open the box. However, he is not in a hurry. Since this Watchman Pioneer system is already his own, he has enough time to slowly study it. He couldn't help but click on the personal information module as he thought this way. Personal information. Watching Pioneer. William level. 0 coins. 0 energy. Skills. Item. Unlock hero. 0 The full screen 0 some question mark has nothing to say now. Next, he entered the task module and found that there was no acceptable task inside. He saw that the tasks were divided into 3 types. Main task, side task, and hidden task. He has played so many games and of course understands what main and side quests are, but what does this hidden mean? A hidden task is like its name, it usually won't be triggered. It will only be triggered when a specific event occurs. When you successfully complete the hidden task, the system will give you generous rewards. Before William could ask, Athena had already answered him. The Watchman Vanguard system was now bound to his soul, and Athena knew his thoughts. Next to the task module is the map module, but when he opened the map, there was a blank space inside. Athena immediately explained, the map module can only be used when the mission is open. During the mission, the map will guide you to the right place to reduce unnecessary trouble. William pursed his lips, thinking that the map module could be used continuously so that he wouldn't get lost wherever he went, but the system clearly wouldn't be so cheap for himself. The map that can only be opened at the beginning of the mission is not very useful now. Finally, there is the mall module, where there are 2 options. Heroes and supply boxes. He casually looked at the heroes in the mall, and each hero's price was different. For example, the cheapest one is Soldier 76, priced at 10,000 gold coins, while the most expensive one is actually DVA. Unlocking this hero requires 100,000 gold coins. Yes, he was not mistaken, 10 times that of Soldier 76. William is a bit unhappy now, although his Soldier 76 is not his destiny, it's too cheap, isn't it? And why is his original hero the most expensive? I reminded you before. Heroes in the mall are expensive and not recommended for purchase. Where is it expensive? This is clearly trying to grab money. William saw the 30% limited time special label on the hero and said, this high price is actually after the limited time discount. The original price would be even more terrifying. After watching the heroes in the mall, William looked at the supply box again. The appearance of the Watchman Vanguard supply box is the same as in the game, but the current supply box is gray and there is a number below that shows 0. That means he doesn't have a supply box right now. To be honest, I hate opening boxes the most. William's tone was mournful, as the supply box in front of him seemed to evoke an unpleasant memory. He remembers that during the anniversary celebration, he really wanted the legendary skin of Soldier 76, the handsome enhanced 76. He spent over 500 krypton to crazily open the box, but couldn't find it. Except for the blue sky and white clouds, which were all purple, there were 5 times when it was said that they were all gold coins. In the end, he could only spend gold coins to buy this skin. Not only in the game of Watchman Pioneer, but when he was addicted to Yin-Yang Master, he really wanted SSR, especially Ibrahimoto and Araki. Even if he has drawn all the auxiliary SSRs, he cannot draw the Shuriken he wants. His only output SSR is to return to the soul and switch to the Demon Blade G. Ah! Talking too much is like tears. William felt that his face was really black in front of these card drawing and box opening games. If the Watchman Pioneer system could only unlock heroes by opening boxes and limited time purchases, he felt like he was done for. Besides heroes, what else can be opened from the supply box? William calmed down and asked. Before answering this question, I feel like you forgot something important. What's going on? William frowned. Did I forget anything? Today is Wednesday, Athena continued. Wednesday. William struggled to recall what important things would happen on Wednesday. Suddenly, he remembered that he had forgotten his job. He is currently working as a delivery worker at a pizza shop in Brooklyn, and every Wednesday is a promotional day for the pizza shop, with a lot of orders. If William remembers correctly, he will be late. Xian won't save Fei, Krypton won't change his life. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Running Youth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Running Youth. Damn it. Athena, how can I leave here? This is the depths of your soul, you can leave any time you want. William thought to himself that he was in trouble, and in the blink of an eye, the scenery in front of him changed back to his bedroom. He glanced at his watch and it was already 8:40, and he had 20 minutes left. Damn it, you're going to be late. Without time to procrastinate, William put on the delivery guy's clothes and rushed downstairs. He has a pizza shop bike, and if he had to wait and pedal faster, he should still have time. But as soon as he ran downstairs, he found that his bicycle had been stolen. The 6th block he is in is the most chaotic place in Brooklyn, with chaotic security and rampant gangs. Even the police are turning a blind eye. If it weren't for the cheap rent here, William wouldn't want to live in this damn place. He locked his bicycle under a tree last night, but when he looked in the morning, he only saw the lock and the bicycle was missing. Oh, shit. William scratched his hair and felt like he was not doing well. Leaving aside the fact that he is late for work, he will definitely be deducted money. If he loses his bicycle in the store, he will definitely be scolded by the boss and may even be fired. For William, who is already struggling, this is simply bad news. Time flies by minute by second, and it's already 8:45. Even if we run over, we won't be able to catch up. Athena, I need help. William, we have successfully unlocked Soldier 76 skill for you. Sprint. Sprint. Youth, your speed has increased. You can sprint quickly in a short period of time to avoid firepower or charge towards enemy positions. Attention. Jumping during sprinting can lead to further jumps. Without time to think much, William let go and ran forward. When running, he felt like his whole body was full of strength, and every step provided him with powerful propulsion. He was like an arrow departing from the string, and the surrounding scenery roared past. Mom, come and see Captain America, said a little loli with blonde hair and blue eyes, pointing at William as she ran past. The young mother immediately grabbed little loli's hand and said, let's stay away from him. We're running so fast, maybe it's a thief. Soldier 76, like Captain America, has undergone super soldier reinforcement, and their physique is different from that of ordinary people. Therefore, William knew that he would not be slower than riding a bicycle when using the skill of sprinting to run. William, the skill sprint is your beginner's benefit, and future skills require you to acquire new heroes or skills before you can use them. William rolled his eyes and knew that there was no pie falling from the sky. 1 minute before work time, he saw the sign of the pizza restaurant from afar. Jonathan Pizza fast food restaurant. When William ran to the store door, he didn't even catch his breath. Just now, he ran at an extremely fast speed for more than 10 minutes. If it had been his previous self, he might have been so tired that he collapsed on the ground and foamed at the mouth. Undoubtedly, it is a skill of the Deserter 76. When he played games, this skill was basically used to escape his life. William, you're late. William just pushed open the restaurant door and saw the restaurant owner with a stern face. This boss's name is Jonathan, and yes, the name of this restaurant is named after him. Jonathan was actually not a native of Brooklyn in the past. He was an Asian immigrant, and this boss has no major problems, he just likes to take advantage of small things. William looked down at him from above. Why is it called down from above? Because this boss is only 1.6 meters tall, while William is 1.8 meters tall, Jonathan needs to look up at him. But you were only 1 minute late, so I won't charge you this time. Jonathan's originally serious face immediately smiled. There are many orders today, and you need to work hard to complete them. Thank you, boss. I will definitely pay attention next time. William thought to himself, I was just 1 minute late. Do you still want to fire me? However, he said politely. Not long after, the restaurant waiter used a cart to push over 10 pizzas, all stacked together, almost half the height of a person. You must be teasing me. William couldn't help but say. With so many pizzas, even when his bike was still there, it was probably not easy to deliver, let alone his bike was stolen. He had to carry these pizzas to deliver takeout. Thank you very much, William. Today is a promotion day, please deliver on time and don't let customers down. Jonathan patted William's shoulder and said earnestly, it seems that this stingy boss didn't want to let him go. If it were William from the past, there might not be enough time for so many pizzas. But William is different now, he has the help of the Watch Vanguard system. Even without a bicycle, he can still run and deliver takeout. Using a sprint to deliver takeout may sound simple, but it's still quite difficult to do so. Leaving aside whether the traffic police will stop you, you're running at such a fast speed with so many pizzas. What if the pizzas spill? William tightly held on to the dozen or so pizzas in his arms, ensuring that they wouldn't overturn. The top pizza box was almost pressing against his chin, and he finally reached out his head. So when delivering the first pizza, he still didn't dare to run too fast. He found the nearest address and ran all the way there. When the customers saw William holding a large stack of pizzas, they were also startled and thought to themselves, what was the situation? So I ordered one, these are all free gifts. Special event triggered, hidden task begins. Hidden task. Marathon. Run 10 kilometers in Brooklyn without using any skills. William had just delivered his first takeout when Athena's voice rang in his mind. Athena said that the so-called hidden task can only be triggered when a special event occurs, but she didn't expect that running to deliver pizza takeout would be a special event. This task may seem simple, but the requirement is that no skills are allowed, which means William cannot use sprinting to complete the task. However, William didn't have time to consider the task at all, so it's important to deliver the food quickly now. After sending away the second, third, and fourth portions one after another, the pizza box in his arms finally became much less. He immediately started running at full speed towards his destination. On the streets of Brooklyn, a young golden-haired man ran faster than an elderly commuter, which surprised passers-by. Even the police on the roadside thought it was a lion from the zoo running out. After the start of the sprint, William's stamina will continue to be depleted. When his stamina is depleted, his running speed will slow down and he will be released from the sprint state. You can only continue to use this skill after your physical strength is restored. During this period, he can only run slowly and also perform some tasks at the same time. Not long after, he successfully delivered 10 takeout orders, leaving only the last one in his hand. William wiped the sweat off his head, and today's result was quite good. He ran towards the last house holding the remaining pizza. Just as he passed by a quiet alley, a woman's scream came from not far away. "Catch the thief, he took my bag." A young man wearing a mask snatched a middle-aged woman's handbag and ran away. The middle-aged woman wanted to catch up, but couldn't catch up at all. The thief ran towards William and shouted, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Missing Iron Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Missing Iron Man. In the face of such a situation, William wants to act bravely for justice. But now he has a tight schedule and heavy tasks. If he doesn't deliver the last pizza in his hand quickly, he is likely to be complained about by the customer. Thinking of this, William planned to make way for the thief, but to his surprise, the thief rampaged and bumped into William's shoulder. With a release of his hand, William threw the pizza box out. "Oh no!" William couldn't help but shout, watching as the fresh pizza flew out of the box. He reached out his hand to grab it, but the pizza flew past his fingers and finally landed on the ground. What made William even more desperate was that the thief, after knocking over his pizza, actually stepped on the pizza on the ground, and a black shoe print immediately landed on the pizza. The thief didn't have time to pay attention to the pizza he had trampled on, so he bumped into William and continued to run forward. William stood in front of the pizza, silent for a moment, and then a smile on his face that was even uglier than crying. "Oh hee. You're dead." This kind of thing often happens in dangerous Brooklyn, not to mention being robbed on the way. It is common to encounter robbing banks. If you go home by yourself at night, maybe someone will keep following you. This used to be the area with the highest crime rate in the United States, regarded as the birthplace of chaos, filth, and crime. The thief has become a habitual offender and is very good at stealing and robbing things. He hid in a deserted corner, eager to open his handbag and see what good things were inside. Just then, he heard a very rapid sound of footsteps coming from behind. He turned around and saw a young man with blonde hair rushing towards him. He was very fast and had already run to him in the blink of an eye. He has never seen anyone run so fast. Is this person an athlete? Hey! Why does the other person's face feel a bit familiar? Did I just bump into someone? In a daze, he remembered something. He looked at the soles of his feet and saw pizza filling all over them. "You stop me," the young man roared, and the thief hesitated for a moment before turning and running in the other direction. The thief thinks he is also a person with agile skills, and everyone in this industry has some abilities. If someone is caught stealing and wants to escape, it's a physical task. He thinks he has good endurance and explosive power, and it won't be long before he can get rid of this annoying guy. But soon he realized he was wrong, and the guy behind him kept following him tightly, his soul lingering. Whispering. William gasped heavily as he sprinted into a skill cooldown state during his pursuit, so he now relies entirely on his own strength to chase the thief. If it were William from the past, he would probably be quickly dumped by the other party. Although only the last pizza was left to complete the task, it was destroyed by this thief. William is almost blown up by anger now. He is engulfed in anger and rationality. If he catches the thief, he must break him down in pieces. The thief is also very tired. It's the first time I've seen someone run so well. He didn't expect that at the beginning. It was Soldier 76's sprint that made William catch up with him, but now William is just struggling to survive. William's speed was getting slower and slower, and the thief turned around to see that he was almost getting rid of this annoying guy. He smiled smugly, even comparing his middle finger, as if mocking William. TSK, can't we? Seeing this scene, William was about to go crazy with anger. At the same time, the cooldown of the sprint skill finally came to an end. He didn't hesitate to start the sprint, like a strong wind rushing forward. Sleeping slot. The thief couldn't believe his eyes. Isn't that person already weak? Why did he suddenly accelerate again? What kind of monster is he? Can he still have such explosive power after running for so long? The frightened thief ran away, watching the person getting closer and closer to him. This time, William did not give him another chance to escape. As he ran behind the thief, he jumped up. You should know that in a sprinting posture, jumping power is also enhanced. His jump directly landed in front of the thief. Hee, where do you want to go? William said with black lines on his forehead, rubbing his hands. The thief swallowed his saliva, and in the next moment, a fist appeared in front of him, an angry iron fist. William knocked the thief to the ground, punching him in the face one by one, muttering. Make you a thief. Let you trample on my pizza. Let you run so fast. Not long after, the thief was beaten up and his face was swollen. William grabbed the other person's collar and said viciously, don't steal anything again in the future. Otherwise, I'll hit you once every time I see you, do you hear me? The thief nodded his head like a chicken pecking at rice. He was just an ordinary little thug. He had never seen a monster like William before, and he decided not to come to Brooklyn in the future. This is indeed a dangerous place. After driving away the thief, William couldn't find where the owner was. He picked up the bag on the ground, and the zipper had already been halfway opened. A newspaper seemed to be exposed, and he accidentally glanced at the words, "Seeing the billionaire missing." William curiously took out this newspaper, and as soon as he saw the headline, he was completely bewildered. Billionaires missing. Tony Stark was attacked by terrorists in Afghanistan. William was momentarily taken aback, then carefully read the news in the newspaper. Tony Stark, the president of Stark Industries, was attacked by local armed terrorists during his trip to Afghanistan for military sales. The armored vehicle responsible for escort was destroyed, and more than 10 soldiers were killed in action. No body of Tony Stark was found on site, and his whereabouts are still unknown. At present, no terrorist organization has declared responsibility for this incident. Tony Stark. William murmured the name. Tony Stark was born into a wealthy family and was a typical domineering CEO. In addition to being a wealthy child who enjoys indulging in extravagance and drinking, he also possesses exceptional intelligence and talent. He graduated from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and was the president of Stark Industries. When he was young, he held billions of assets and was incredibly wealthy. Of course, you should be more familiar with his other name. Iron Man. Tony Stark had the idea of saving the world after a life-and-death crisis. He used his intelligence to create high-tech battle suits, which made him invincible and able to fly to the sky and escape the Earth. He became the guardian of the people as the Iron Man and engaged in fierce battles with various evil forces. He joined the Avengers and worked tirelessly with superheroes such as Captain America, the Hulk, and Thor to maintain world peace. However, Tony Stark is not Iron Man yet, he is just a very wealthy ordinary person. If William remembers correctly, Iron Man did not go missing, but was kidnapped by terrorists. Wait a moment, Iron Man Tony Stark. So, he has traveled to Marvel's world. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Marvel World is dangerous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Marvel World is dangerous. Athena, is this really Marvel World? William asked. Through system checks, the similarity between this world and Marvel's movie universe is as high as 90%. William leaned against the wall, looking up at the blue sky at 45 degrees, with an expression of helplessness on his face. To put it simply, Marvel World is very dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Leaving aside the desire to gather unlimited gems to destroy the tyrants and the artificial intelligence to destroy humanity. Just these superheroes on Earth are already enough to cause headaches. William has seen the news of Tony's disappearance, and soon Iron Man will be born. Iron Man's combat power is all reflected in his diverse armor. Tony knows he is a physical mortal, so he has been creating various powerful mechs to strengthen his abilities. Steve Rogers participated in the U.S. Super Soldier program during World War II and became the captain of the United States. In addition to his strong physical strength, he also possesses a shield crafted by Jinjin. On the surface, Bruce Banner appears to be a harmless scientist, but deep within him lies a monster named Hulk. The Hulk was born in deadly gamma rays, and the more angry he is, the stronger his power becomes. Hawkeye and Black Widow do not have superpowers, but they are both experienced agents. Eagle Eye's archery is superb. Maybe he wants to shoot you dead, even with his eyes closed. The Black Widow is charming, but she is a deadly poison. Thor Odinson is the son of Odin, the father of the gods, and the future heir of Asgard, the god of thunder and lightning. His weapon, Thor's hammer, possesses the power to destroy the heavens and earth. Throughout the entire alliance, his strength is on par with that of the Hulk. William thought he had arrived in a new world and obtained the Watchman pioneer system. His future was bright, and even if he didn't want to dominate, living here happily and peacefully should be enough. Unexpectedly, the cold water of reality poured down on his face, and the world was much more dangerous than he had imagined. Fortunately, it's too early to think about these things now. Iron Man is still trapped in Afghanistan, the US team is still sleeping under the glacier, the Hulk is playing hide and seek with his father. Law, the Black Widow and Hawkeye may be on missions, and Thor is still in Asgard. What is William's current advantage? It is the Watchman Pioneer system, which is his understanding of the Marvel film universe. First of all, let's talk about the Watchman system. The heroes in Watchmen basically have high-tech from a distant future. Watchmen and Avengers are essentially similar, both born to protect the world. If he can unlock those heroes, he doesn't have to be afraid even when facing superheroes or supervillains. Next is his understanding of the Marvel movie universe. He is not a hardcore Marvel fan, but he has mostly watched movies. He may not remember the details of the movie plot very clearly, but he already knows the future of the Marvel universe and some upcoming events. The Avengers Gathering, the Age of Ultron, the Infinite War. These will be unprecedented tests. Starting from Iron Man 1, Marvel set up a huge game, which was the birth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the entire timeline story also began from here. If he remembers correctly, Tony Stark went missing for 3 months, which means he has 3 months to become stronger. Is everything okay? Time is quite abundant. William looked at the newspaper in his hand again. In addition to introducing Tony Stark's disappearance, the news also included information about the decline of Stark's industrial stock and the speech of Tony's father's friend, Abade, and so on. But soon he realized something was wrong. The newspaper date was not today, but more than 2 months ago. This is very awkward. It turned out to be a newspaper from over 2 months ago, which means Iron Man has been missing for a long time. By this calculation, in less than 2 weeks, Tony will be found and Iron Man will officially appear. Time is running out, he must become stronger as soon as possible. He is very worried about Athena's words, and through system checks, the similarity between this place and the Marvel movie universe is as high as 90%. Not to mention 10%, it's possible that a 1% change will also bring about earth-shattering changes in the entire world. Who can imagine what a Marvel world with 10% change would look like? Organizing his anxious mood, William returned to the restaurant with his bag. He didn't want to take the bag away, but rather wanted to show it to the boss. He knew he had lost his last takeout, and Jonathan would definitely be furious. William. Where did you go? William just walked into the restaurant door and heard Jonathan yell, "Don't you know that the customer complained about you? Don't you want your salary for this month?" William said helplessly, "Believe it or not, I went to fight bravely to catch the thief. Pizza was just spilled by the thief. Are you lying to ghosts?" Jonathan widened his eyes and said, "You can't find a better reason to lie. Why don't you say you ran into an alien and the alien took your pizza?" William raised the bag in his hand and said, "This is what the thief stole. I haven't found the owner yet." Jonathan originally wanted to say something, but when he saw the bag, his expression became suspicious for a moment, and then his eyes lit up and he said, "Wait, William, show me the bag." William hesitated for a moment before giving the bag to Jonathan. Jonathan just glanced at it and said, "Chanel." "William, I'll help you return this bag to the owner. Today, for the sake of your bravery, I won't deduct your salary. Remember, there won't be another customer complaint against you. Don't think about doing it again." No wonder it turned out to be a wealthy person. William thought there might be something valuable in his bag, but he only found a newspaper inside. Unexpectedly, the most valuable thing is actually this bag. Judging from Jonathan's meaning, it's impossible for this bag to be returned to the owner. "William, you have successfully completed the hidden task. Marathon. Congratulations on receiving rewards. Supply box X1, gold coin X100. When William returned home from work without a bicycle, he could only run home. As soon as he arrived at the doorstep, Athena's voice rang out. He still remembered that the task of the marathon was to run 10 kilometers, but he didn't expect to complete the task just one day later. He just remembered that besides delivering takeout today, he also chased the thief for half a day, and with other things, he ran about 10 kilometers intermittently. "Do you need me to help you open a supply box now?" No, William immediately shook his head and said, "The first time I open the box, I need to choose a special time." William returned home and had a simple sandwich for dinner. He looked at the poster of Captain America on the wall and felt like he was dreaming. He is just an ordinary office worker, but he has come to Marvel World. This is the first day of coming to Marvel. Who knows what kind of danger awaits him tomorrow? With this in mind, William sat at his desk and began writing his own plan. This plan is about the future of Marvel World and his own development. He doesn't want to be an unprepared person, especially in such a world where no one can help him now and he can only rely on himself. Unconsciously, the clock was already pointing towards midnight. William rubbed his eyes and called out, "Athena, prepare to open the box." End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Soldier 76 reporting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Soldier 76 reporting. The battle between Africans and Europeans has been long-lasting, with character being the key to winning the lottery and luck in opening the box. William is undoubtedly the unlucky group of people. In order to save his increasingly fading European aura, he tried to search for various mystical schools, among which the 12-point mystical school was the one he trusted the most. 12-point metaphysics, as the name suggests, doubles the chance at midnight. That's also why William endured until midnight before preparing to open the box. Although it was all about looking at his face, William always felt that he had the best luck at this time. Athena, you haven't finished before. Apart from being able to reach heroes, what else can you reach when opening a box? You still have a certain chance of obtaining equipment, weapons, skills, consumables, spray paint, and skin. I see. Let's start then. William took a deep breath and opened the only supply box. D.Va. I want D.Va. The supply box suddenly shook, and the lid was about to fly out. William couldn't help but hold his breath, and his heart slowed down. Amidst a familiar sound of music, 3 streams of light shot out from the open supply box. White. White. Green, wait, green. William had never seen the green light before. He looked at these items one by one, and the first two white lights were all spray-painted. There was a Soldier 76 and another was a French chicken. However, the last green item surprised him greatly. Soldier 76 reports to you. The mysterious person in front of him had a head of white hair. He was wearing a blue, white, and red combat suit, with a pair of red goggles in front of him. One hand saluted William, while the other held his heavy pulse rifle. The rewards for the supply box of the Watchman Vanguard system come in 4 levels. White, blue, purple, and gold. In addition, green items represent heroes, and when you activate duplicate items, they will automatically be converted into gold coins. Athena explained. Watching Pioneer. William level. 0 gold coins. 100 energy. 2-minute skill. Sprint item. Unlock hero. 1 William clicked on his personal information and found that many places had changed. What does that energy mean? Why is it 2 minutes? When you need to transform into a hero, you will expend energy. At level 0, there will be 2 minutes of transformation time, and each level increase will increase the transformation time by 1 minute. So, can I transform into a Soldier 76 in 2 minutes now? No mistake, Athena continued, but remember, after each energy consumption, you cannot transform for a short period of time. Ah. This made William think of Ultraman, and as soon as the red light came on, it indicated that the time for transformation was running out. He is like Ultraman now, as soon as time comes, he must flee. There was nothing to say overnight. The takeout on Thursday is much less than yesterday. William is enjoying his leisure and has been thinking about one thing today, which is his stolen bicycle. That bicycle is not his, but the one in the store. If the boss finds out that he lost the bicycle, he will definitely be in trouble. Before the boss discovered it, he had to find a way to remedy the situation. It was definitely impossible to find it back. He now has only one solution, which is to buy a new bicycle. He definitely can't afford a brand new one now, but he can buy a second-hand one, preferably a similar model, so that he can get by unnoticed. He looked at his wallet and found that there was not much left, so he decided to find a place to withdraw the money first. William found a nearby bank with his bank card. There was an ATM machine at the bank's entrance, and after waiting for a long time, he realized that there was no money left in the machine. He had no choice but to walk into the bank and go to the counter. To be honest, he hasn't been to a bank for a long time because before his time traveling, he mostly used mobile online banking to make payments in China. I didn't expect to come to the bank again, and it turned out to be a bank from the United States, and also from Marvel World's United States. He looked at the lobby of the bank and couldn't help but think, hey, I can still be considered a capable person now. The 2-minute transformation of Soldier 76 should be able to do many things, such as snatching a bank. However, this evil idea was quickly dispelled by him. He is now a member of the Watchman Vanguard and a guardian of humanity. Bank robbery. That's what Black Claw would do. Just as William was lost in thought, a group of people swaggered in from the bank entrance, dressed in black and wearing white skull masks on their faces. Bang! Suddenly, a man in black raised his pistol and fired a shot, shouting loudly. Don't move. All the laborers are lying on the ground. Are you joking? William was startled. He just went to rob a bank on his own and encountered a real bank robber. His luck was too bad, right? There are a total of 5 robbers in front of us, all wearing masks and holding weapons. One of them was a tall black man, who had just fired the gun. He walked at the front and was clearly their leader. The sudden sound of gunfire caused a piercing scream in the bank, and people panicked. Some wanted to escape, but were stopped by robbers. Some people squat on the ground holding their heads, while others stand still, looking bewildered and unsure of what has happened. William was the one who stood there dumbfounded. A robber saw him standing here foolishly and immediately raised his gun, saying, "Quickly lie on the ground, raise your hands, don't move around." Seeing the pitch-black muzzle facing him, William couldn't help but swallow his saliva. He raised his hands and slowly crouched down. The robbers drove all the customers of the bank together, and the bank staff were also threatened. Some people were about to report to the police when they were beaten to death by the robbers. The girl at the nearby counter was splattered with blood on her face and cried in fear. A robber became impatient and grabbed her collar, pulling her out of the counter. He pressed her down and pulled out a sharp knife, saying fiercely, "If you cry again, you'll scratch your face." The arrival of the robbers alarmed the security guards of the bank, but as soon as they rushed over, they were subdued. "Hand over your phones and put cash and valuable items inside," said a robber, taking out his bag. Everyone hesitated, but faced with the threat of evil forces, they could only compromise. Everyone took out cash and mobile phones, men took off their watches, and women took off their jewelry. William, of course, had nothing valuable. He put his phone and the little cash left in it, and helplessly thought to himself. Do you have professional ethics? Even if you want to grab $20. Come and suck in some European air. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. We Need Heroes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 8. Spiral Missiles. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Spiral Missiles. Are you looking for me? Suddenly, a voice of vicissitudes sounded behind him, and the leader of the robber reacted quickly. He turned around and fired at him. William suddenly grabbed the barrel of the gun, and the muzzle was lifted by him. The bullets roared and hit the wall. Bang! 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 The Desert Eagle's bullets were quickly depleted, and the robber threw the pistol aside, picked up the AK-47, and wanted to fire. William reached out to grab AK-47, grabbed it with both hands and exerted force, breaking it alive. Sleeping slot. The leader of the robber was stunned. Is this person a monster? How could it be possible to break one's gun with bare hands? Without any hesitation, he picked up the bag on the ground and planned to run. But how could William make the criminal easily escape? He also grabbed the bag, and the two of them immediately fought for it. Soldier 76's strength is far stronger than ordinary people, and the leader of the robbers is no match for him. A crack gradually appeared on the bag, and the contents of the bag were almost full. With the competition between the two, the crack grew bigger and bigger. The next moment, the entire bag was torn open and everything inside flew out. The sky was filled with US dollars falling from the sky, as if a heavy rain had blocked William's view. Soldier 76 has 60 seconds left to transform. Watching the leader of the robber take advantage of the chaos and run out of the bank, William was about to catch up when Athena's voice rang out. Wait, Athena, where's my gun? To be honest, he doesn't actually want to fight the enemy bare-handed. He just emerged with a burst of passion. He couldn't bear to watch the bank manager be killed before transforming into a soldier. Now he calmed down and looked at his red gloves before realizing, hey, where's his gun? The most powerful feature of Soldier 76 is its stable output. Soldiers without guns are not good soldiers, while Soldier 76 with bare hands is just hand-to-hand combat with the enemy. He needs weapons. Weapon. Heavy pulse rifle unlocked. After a brilliant white light, a majestic heavy-duty pulse rifle came into view. With its stylish appearance and handsome colors, it was clear at first glance that this was a super rifle with a strong sense of technology and futurism. Heavy pulse rifle. A groundbreaking weapon from the Vanguard, a pulse rifle capable of firing spiral high-explosive rockets. While conducting full-pulse shooting, it can maintain stable output with a payload of 25. We are all soldiers now. William looked down at the weapon in his hand and then launched a sprint to catch up. There is a black box car parked right at the entrance of the bank. In fact, there are a total of 6 robbers among them, 5 of whom are responsible for robbing the bank, and the 6th person is on standby in the car. The car never stopped. As long as they got it right, they could successfully escape. However, it's more important to escape now. Let's go. Drive quickly. The robber leader opened the car door and urged. The driver is holding a laptop, and he is the 6th person among these bank robbers. In addition to being responsible for driving, he also blocked the bank's alarm system and surveillance cameras to ensure safety. He saw the expression on the leader of the robbers' face, which was somewhat panicked. He couldn't help but ask curiously, Why are you the only one? Where are they? Stop talking nonsense. Drive quickly. The robber boss slapped the driver's head and shouted. The driver didn't know what had happened, but he still obediently drove. He suddenly stepped on the accelerator and the van started moving, gradually leaving the bank. His gaze glanced towards the front and rear mirrors, and he saw the leader of the robber turn around nervously, looking very worried. His mother, today, is really a ghost. The robber boss looked behind, and a figure suddenly appeared to chase them. Seeing the familiar red goggles and white hair all over his head, he couldn't help but curse. He has been paying attention to that bank for a long time, far from the police station, and the security forces are also very weak. If it weren't for that guy disrupting the situation today, he would definitely have made a fortune. And so far, not only has he not received a penny, but he has also lost 4 subordinates. The more you think, the angrier you get. The robber found a Thompson submachine gun in the car, opened the car door, leaned out half of his body, and fired at William behind him. The Thompson submachine gun is also known as the Chicago typewriter because its sound sounds like a typing machine. In an instant, a dense barrage of bullets hit William, and he quickly dodged, with countless bullets passing by him. Now it's my turn. William raised his pulse rifle and placed his hand on the trigger. A futuristic sound followed, and he knew it was the sound of pulse bullets charging. What the hell is that? The leader of the robber saw the mysterious rifle in the opponent's hand from a distance. He had never seen such a weapon before, as if it did not belong to this era. In the blink of an eye, the muzzle of the heavy pulse rifle emitted light, and blue flames spewed out. Intuition tells the robber boss that if he is hit by a bullet from that gun, he will definitely die. He immediately hid in the car and a pulse bullet hit him in the face. He quickly got down, the sound of bullets whistling in his ears. This is William's first time shooting in real life, with remarkable accuracy, and surprisingly, he didn't hit anyone. But looking around, there are still many bullet holes left on the doors and body of the sedan. The windshield in front of the driver was shattered with a hole, and he was so scared that he quickly turned the steering wheel and began to snake along the road, avoiding enemy bullets. The heavy pulse rifle had a total of 25 bullets, and soon William ran out of magazines. When he had just changed the bullets, Athena's voice rang out again. William, there are only the last 10 seconds left for Soldier 76's transformation, and your time is running out. Don't let the bad guys run away. William quickly stopped running and raised his heavy pulse rifle, aiming at the trunk of the van and said in a deep voice, "Spiral missile. Spiral missile. Blow up your enemies. Shoot 3 micro-rockets from Soldier 76's pulse rifle, which will spiral towards the target to be destroyed and can cause significant damage to enemies in a small area. Attention! Rocket jumping can be achieved through spiral missiles. Soldier 76 has a strong output ability and high bullet damage, but the continuous sweeping trajectory also has a large spread, making it difficult for untrained William to hit the enemy. As the transformation time was about to end, William didn't hesitate and fired a spiral missile. On the streets of Brooklyn, a hatchback was like a headless fly colliding everywhere. 3 miniature rockets flashed across the sky in blue light, spinning rapidly in the air, approaching it with a piercing roar from the air raid. Oh, fake. The robber boss had a ghostly expression on his face, and the driver also saw 3 approaching blue dots in the rearview mirror. He widened his eyes, then pulled down the handbrake and slammed the steering wheel. The car suddenly spun in place, and the spiral missile almost brushed against its roof, producing golden sparks. However, it did not hit the target, but flew towards the fire hydrant on the roadside. Boom! The fire hydrant was immediately exploded, and the spray like a fountain rose to the sky, and countless drops of water fell, like a rainstorm falling from the sky. Don't turn back. Let's go. The robber leader, who was drenched in soup, immediately shouted. Just as Soldier 76 was chasing the bank robbers, there was chaos outside the bank that had just been robbed. Police cars and ambulances only arrived in half a day, and a cordon was set up at the entrance. There are many onlookers around, and in the dangerous Brooklyn, bank robberies and similar incidents often occur, and everyone has long been accustomed to them. Among these people, there was a man in a black suit who took off his sunglasses, took out his phone, and calmly said, "Sir, I need surveillance footage of the entire street in Brooklyn." Guess who this person is? End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Is being targeted by the Divine Shield Bureau. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 is being targeted by the Divine Shield Bureau. Yesterday afternoon at 2 p.m., a bank robbery occurred at a bank located on 1st Street in Brooklyn. Currently, 4 robbers have been arrested, and the remaining 2 robbers are still on the run. The TV news is broadcasting yesterday's robbery. Just 2 days after arriving at Marvel World, William encountered a bicycle stolen, a bag thief, a bank robber. He felt that he might be the most tragic among countless travelers. It's the first time he has encountered someone robbing a bank, despite being so old. At first, he was very afraid in his heart, worried that if he said something wrong, those bad people would shoot him. He loves to watch the excitement, is indifferent, and doesn't care about himself. This was his usual state before crossing over. Because in his world, bravery and heroism often have no good ending. But upon entering this brand new world, he gained the mysterious Watchman Pioneer system. When he saw someone's life being threatened, he couldn't stand idly by, and his mind rushed out when it was hot. Soldier 76's transformation time is only 2 minutes now, and William can only watch as the robbers escape in the end. He flipped through his pocket and only then remembered that his phone, wallet, and bank card had all been left at the bank. When he went back to look for them, they must have been gone a long time ago. And he understands that he must never let others know his true identity. The robbers were very cunning. Before committing the robbery, they had already hacked the bank's alarm and surveillance systems, and we couldn't find any surveillance footage. A bearded police officer on the TV said, according to the information provided by witnesses, someone stepped forward and defeated these robbers. William took a deep breath. Fortunately, the robbery had disrupted the surveillance first, otherwise his identity would have been exposed. It's hard for him to imagine what would happen if he was exposed, caught by the Divine Shield Bureau, and then arrested and subjected to severe interrogation. Or even more terrifying is being found by a Hydra and successfully brainwashed into a killing machine. Neither of these are what he wants. William is still very weak and doesn't want to be associated with any organization. Both the Divine Shield Bureau and the Hydra are not something that he can compete against now. He is our savior, and although I don't know who he really is, I still want to say thank you to him. Thank you for standing up, you are a true hero. In addition to interviewing the police, William also interviewed the hostages who were taken hostage, and saw the familiar face of the bank manager. Heroes. William murmured as he couldn't help but glance at the guard emblem on the back of his hand. Early this morning, William left the house. Of course, he didn't go to work early, but went to the second-hand trading market. Since his bicycle was stolen, William has been on edge every day, afraid of being discovered by his boss. There is a saying that goes, "I didn't look at the almanac when I went out." William felt like this kind of person. Originally, he went out to withdraw money, but he didn't expect to not only fail to do so, but also encounter robbers. Where can we reason about this? William had no choice but to advance half a month's salary to the boss and gritted his teeth to buy a bicycle. Of course, it's second-hand. After buying his bicycle, William quickly rode towards the fast food restaurant. He saw a car parked on the roadside, which was a classic convertible with a red paint and a retro style. This antique-grade vintage car is a favorite of collectors and generally does not appear on the streets. And William always felt that this car looked a bit familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere before. When he arrived at the restaurant, he found his boss Jonathan standing at the door waiting for him. William was momentarily stunned. He was not late again. What was the situation? Shouldn't the theft of the bicycle have already been discovered? Why did you just come? Someone was looking for you. Jonathan's answer relieved him. Fortunately, the bicycle incident was not discovered. When he walked into the restaurant, he saw the person sitting on the card table. He was wearing a straight black suit, shiny leather shoes, holding a newspaper in his hand, and drinking coffee. I heard you're looking for me. Do we know each other? William walked over and asked curiously. I don't know. Coulson put down his coffee and said, First time meeting, Mr. List. The Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Central Intelligence Agency. William asked, looking at the other person's outfit. It was either a salesperson selling insurance or someone from the government department. Of course, he was more inclined towards the latter. No, we are a more independent department, Coulson said, taking out his identification. I am Agent Phil Coulson from the Homeland Strategic Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency. Has anyone ever said that the name of your department sounds like a tongue twister? I know, Coulson shrugged and said, we're trying to figure something out. William's expression on his face looked calm, but in fact, a great uproar had already stirred up in his heart. The National Strategic Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency is a world-renowned international military action organization and intelligence agency of Marvel. Of course, it has a more well-known name. The Divine Shield Bureau. The Divine Shield Bureau is a defensive line that stands between this world and a more eerie world, preventing people from knowing things they are not yet prepared to know, and maintaining world peace and freedom. For the safety of people, the Divine Shield Bureau has been guarding this world and is committed to building a better world. So, Mr. Coulson, what are you looking for me for? William asked, knowing that he had already been targeted by the Divine Shield. Phil Coulson, a Level 6 agent of the Divine Shield Bureau, is one of Nick Fury's most trusted subordinates with strong mobility in organizational skills, proficient in firearms and combat. Although he is an ordinary person, he plays a crucial role in the Marvel world. Because he recruited numerous superheroes and ultimately formed the Avengers. Coulson is a symbol of the Divine Shield, and since he has found William, it indicates that William has caught the attention of the Divine Shield. Fortunately, the newcomer is from the Divine Shield Bureau. If it were a Hydra, it wouldn't be as simple as sitting here chatting. Do you remember this news? Coulson picked up the newspaper and William glanced at it. The newspaper mentioned yesterday afternoon's bank robbery, and the news content was similar to what was said on TV. I don't remember, I haven't even looked at it. William rolled his eyes. At this moment, he couldn't be honest. Where were you yesterday afternoon? Coulson asked, ignoring William's reaction. Where else can I deliver takeout? Did you deliver takeout all afternoon yesterday? Coulson was clearly incredulous. William spread his hands and said helplessly, you government officials won't understand us low-level workers. As long as your office air conditioning is turned on and you drink coffee, you can get money. Unlike us who are exposed to the wind and sun every day and are 1 minute late, you will be complained about by customers. Our work is not as simple as you think, Coulson said, staring into his eyes. This world is very dangerous, with many unknown secrets. There is a crisis brewing in the darkness, and we are the last line of defense to defend people. If we collapse, what will happen? This world is finished, Coulson said seriously. You're overthinking it. No one on Earth would continue to rotate. William looked at Coulson with a provocative gaze. And how do I feel that the world would have been better without you? I guess many people have guessed it. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Please start your performance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Please start your performance. This is not William intentionally causing trouble. The fact is that when it comes to the Divine Shield Bureau, we have to mention the Hydra. The Divine Shield Bureau and the Hydra are like the front and back of a coin, representing freedom and order, justice and evil. During World War II, the Red Skull followed the concept of the nine-headed snake throughout history to establish the nine-headed snake. In order to counter the powerful Hydra, the Allies created the Strategic Science Corps, which is the predecessor of the contemporary Divine Shield Bureau. After the end of the war, the nine-headed snake split apart and disappeared from sight, while the Strategic Science Corps evolved over several decades and gradually became known as the Divine Shield Bureau. People think that the Hydra has long been destroyed, but in reality, the Hydra has been secretly lurking inside the Divine Shield Bureau, using its power to create panic and turmoil around the world, seeking benefits, and waiting for the day when it will be seen again. In other words, the current Divine Shield game is equivalent to the Hydra. Of course, Coulson cannot know. Coulson didn't understand William's meaning, so the topic unknowingly shifted to such a distant place. Wait, I'm not here to discuss the philosophy of our organization today, but listen, buddy, I don't have time to chat with you. William said in a serious tone, what secrets or crises have nothing to do with me. I'm just an ordinary person, I'm just a delivery person, understand? Before Coulson could say anything, William had already turned around and left, waving at him before leaving. We'll see each other again, Coulson said after taking a sip of coffee. The person seemed fine, but in reality, there was a big problem. Don't be fooled by William's tough and assertive tone, it's all just a facade. Because he noticed a hint of nervousness in the other person's strong gaze, although he concealed it well, he still caught it. This person definitely has a problem. William hurriedly ran into the kitchen, and his originally strong gaze disappeared. He wiped the sweat off his forehead, but to his surprise, the people from the Divine Shield Bureau found him. What exactly did Agent Coulson come for? Has his secret been exposed? Watching the Vanguard is his secret, his own secret. He doesn't want anyone to know the truth, and he can't explain the whole story because no one will believe it. How do you ask him to explain? He is a person from another world. He was electrocuted while playing games and traveled to Marvel World, gaining the ability to use the Watch Vanguard system. Does anyone believe it? People will definitely treat him as a lunatic, and he is also a delusional person who plays games too much. William originally thought that if Coulson was rejected once, he would not come to find him, but what he didn't expect was that the next day, he saw the figure of this SHID agent again in the restaurant, and William had to deliberately avoid him, pretending not to see it. However, on the third day, Coulson still sat at the previous card table, leisurely drinking coffee and reading newspapers. Does this make William feel that these agents are so idle every day? Don't save the world, don't catch aliens, keep monitoring him. Until the fourth day, William could not bear it anymore. He sat down in front of Coulson and said, okay, I'm convinced of you. If you have a problem, come to my home tonight. Since you have been staring at me for so many days, you should know where my home is. Coulson picked up his coffee and said, okay, Mr. List, we'll see you tonight. Seeing Coulson's distant figure, William breathed a sigh of relief. This guy finally left. But what should he do? Run away now. But in Marvel World, he can probably be found by the Divine Shield Bureau wherever he goes. It's definitely not a solution to keep hiding like this. It's just a matter of time before he faces the Divine Shield Bureau. On the surface, the Divine Shield Bureau is a justice organization that upholds the world, but it has also done some unknown things behind the scenes. The Divine Shield Bureau is not a charity organization, and the people inside are not Our Lady. If they really know that there is a very powerful system in their body, they may threaten and lure themselves to obtain the secrets of the system. No, we can't tell the truth. If we can't, we can only deceive. Tonight will be a time to test his acting skills. Returning to the apartment at night, he had originally thought that Coulson should have arrived long ago and would be waiting for him at the door. But he looked around and didn't see the figure of this agent. He walked home, pushed open the door, and the room was pitch black. Just as he was about to turn on the lights, he walked out of the darkness alone and said, "Sorry, it's really too dark there." Sleeping trough. William was startled and thought to himself, "You're just casually entering someone else's house. Do you know that you're breaking into a private house?" But on second thought, this Coulson was also very polite to himself. If it were another SHID agent, he might have tied himself up and locked himself in a small black room long ago. "You first find a place to sit down. I'll go pour you a glass of water." William turned on the light and went to pour water for Coulson. Coulson looked around and couldn't help but curl his lips. Although I had already investigated William's background and family environment and knew he was very poor, I did not expect that the place he lived in would be even more dilapidated than I had imagined. The sofa in the living room was covered in dust. He patted the dust for a while before reluctantly sitting down, and at that moment, William also brought water over. "Do you know about the bank robbery?" Coulson asked directly. "I know." William didn't lie again this time. "I was there at the time. I was planning to go to the bank to withdraw money, but I didn't expect to encounter a bank robber." "Are you saying I'm unlucky or not?" "Stop." Coulson didn't let William continue. According to witnesses, the situation was very critical at the time, and someone stepped forward to save everyone. "Do you remember this person?" When William was about to answer, Coulson took out a tablet and clicked on a video from traffic surveillance footage. In the video, a figure rushed out of the bank, running very fast, and the camera couldn't capture his figure clearly. Before William could explain anything, Coulson clicked on another video. The appearance of Soldier 76 in the video was already very obvious. He ran all the way to the phone booth on the roadside and rushed inside, but when he came out, it seemed like a different person. No mistake, it's William who looks like an ordinary person. William almost couldn't help but want to cover his face. He remembered that Superman next door would change clothes in the phone booth every time he transformed. He didn't intentionally imitate Superman because the transformation time was about to end, and he only found this place. Unexpectedly, every move was captured by the roadside camera. "Do you have any explanation for these two videos?" Coulson looked at William with some pride. These surveillance videos were basically real, and William was the one who defeated the bank robbers. However, he knew that with this guy's personality, it was impossible to admit it quickly, and he would definitely have to make some excuses. "Not afraid, he has other evidence." "There's no explanation, I admit this person is me." Coulson was slightly surprised. According to common sense, the other party should have refused to admit it and played around recklessly. Why did they admit it so quickly? This is not playing according to the usual rules. "Is this your special ability?" Coulson picked up the water glass and took a sip, but William's next answer made him spray water out. "No, this is high-tech. To be honest, I come from the future 200 years later." Friends who like this book, please leave more comments in the book review section. End of this chapter.